over the years that you were executive editor of the Washington Post, you were asked on occasion by presidents and others at the White House and elsewhere to not publish stories to protect national security. That must be just an extraordinarily
very difficult, because it suggests that you don't care about national security, which if suggests that in my case that I didn't spend 4 years on a destroyer in the Pacific Ocean, and it didn't care that I didn't have security clearances, which I did when I was in the State Department in my brief meteoric diplomatic career. So it's very hard. The fact of the matter is that most of the national security decisions are being made by people who don't know as much as you do and I do. They really don't. Look, I mean, the Assistant Secretary of Defense probably or could well have been selling used cars in Kansas City as a career, and he is made Assistant Secretary of Defense. What the hell does he know about national defense? He's got later information, and he knows some top secret gizmo that I don't know about. But the fact that suggests that journalists don't consider that and don't care about that is really blasphemous.
I mean, weren't you personally visited, or at least you spoke with Jimmy Carter about Bob Woodward had a story about the King of Jordan being on the payroll.
Yes.
Was this a meeting at the White House with the president?
Yes, I went to see the president, and he had just taken office.
Right.
And I didn't know him at all. And I went over there and I asked him about a story that Woodward had that said that the United States government gave the King of Jordan a little over $1 million a year, and here, just you take it, and you can buy candy with it, you can do anything you want. It's not foreign aid, it's not military aid, it's anything like that. And the president rather endearingly said he didn't know anything about that, and I'm sure he didn't.
Right.
But he sure as hell didn't want it printed, and I think the Secretary of Defense was Vance or somebody, and Vance was going to see the King of Jordan the next day, and it would really, they tried to persuade me successfully for 24 hours that, to keep it out of the paper because it made life so difficult for them. But, national defense is a buzzword. I mean, if you say national defense, that's supposed to, the FBI comes calling, and people say traitor, and editorials get written.
Back to lies. There have been so many lies at the highest levels and even mid-levels on national security issues in recent decades that there is a little bit of a credibility, or I guess you'd call it crying wolf issue. You can't send out information that's incorrect and then cry wolf that this one's really going to cause you problems. And I think there's a natural skepticism. But it does seem like there's been a lot more emphasis on national security, obviously, since September 11th. At least it feels that way. I don't know. But this is always a difficult question, isn't it? I mean, it's a little bit of a nightmare for an editor, isn't it? I mean, you don't want
to... because you're maneuvered into with superficially at least, a hard-to-defend position, and that you're against national security, which of course you're not. We had a great day here when both the head of the CIA and the FBI came up to see me about something. And you've been down in the newsroom, and you know that the editor's office has got this glass thing. And the site, one of my favorite sites in the world was to watch Woodward parade in front of the glass, trying to find out what the hell was going on, and not being asked in.
Oh, that must have really, that's
cruel as cut a wall. But when the head of the CIA tells you that publishing something will endanger the national security of your country, you can't just tell them to go jump in a lake. You've got to listen to it. You've got to try to point out why it isn't.